Good evening, dear listeners, and welcome to another calming journey into the past, where the sands of history whisper tales of courage and kindness. Tonight, we'll uncover the stories of the Middle East's silent sentinels and sung heroes who guarded culture, wisdom, and humanity through the ages. This is a soothing tale of resilience, compassion, and quiet triumphs, perfect for unwinding or drifting off to sleep. So, find your softest blanket, let the day fade away, and join me under a starlit desert sky as we explore these heartwarming stories, one gentle chapter at a time. Close your eyes if you'd like, and let's begin. Imagine yourself in a vast Middle Eastern desert, perhaps near the ancient city of Petra, or along the banks of the Euphrates. It's a cool evening in 900 CE, and the air carries the scent of frankincense and the distant call of a camel caravan. The Middle East's history is often told through its caliphs, poets, and conquerors, but tonight we're turning our hearts to the silent sentinels, the scholars, artisans, and everyday folk who preserved the region's spirit through turbulent times. Who were these forgotten figures, and why do their stories still glow like embers in the night? We'll journey through 10 touching tales, from a Baghdad astronomer who mapped the stars to a Yemeni weaver who stitched hope into her community. Each story is a grain of sand in the vast desert of history, a reminder of the resilience and kindness that have shaped the Middle East. So, let's sit by the fire, where the flames dance softly, and begin our calming journey through these silent tales of the sands in 10 parts. Part 1. The Astronomer of Baghdad and the Stars of 8. Let's begin our journey in the year 830 in the bustling city of Baghdad during the Abbasid Caliphate, where an astronomer named Fatima al-Madridi charted the stars in the House of Wisdom. Her observations, a sentinel of knowledge in the Islamic Golden Age, while the House of Wisdom is celebrated for its scholars. Fatima's quiet work preserved astronomical wisdom, her telescope a beacon in a time of discovery. What drove this woman to gaze at the heavens, and how did her star charts illuminate the world? Baghdad in the 9th century was a center of learning. Its House of Wisdom, a library and academy where scholars from across the Islamic world gathered, their scrolls filled with Greek, Persian, and Indian knowledge, their discussions a hum of intellect under arched ceilings. Fatima al-Madridi, born in 800 in a small village near Basra, had learned mathematics from her father, a merchant who traded along the Silk Road. His abacus, a toy, she turned into a tool of precision. By 830, now 30, Fatima had joined the House of Wisdom, her robes a deep indigo, her hands steady as she adjusted a brass astrolabe, her eyes bright with the stars she mapped, the air heavy with the scent of parchment and myrrh. The Abbasid Caliphate, under Caliph Alman, was a golden age for science, its scholars tasked with translating ancient texts and advancing knowledge, their work a bridge between past and future. Fatima's specialty was astronomy. She spent nights on the roof of the House of Wisdom, her telescope trained on the constellations, her charts recording the movements of Venus and Jupiter, their paths a dance of light in the desert sky. Picture her under the stars, a quill in her hand, her hijab fluttering in the breeze, the air cool with the promise of dawn, her voice soft as she whispered the names of stars Aldebaran, all near their light, a guide for sailors and scholars alike. Fatima's sentinel role was in her precision. She corrected earlier Greek measurements of the Earth's circumference, her calculations a gift to geographers, their maps more accurate for her work, their journeys safer across the seas. In 831, she charted a comet's path, her observations shared with the caliph's court. Its tale a wonder that inspired poets, their verses a tribute to her vigilance. Her stars were our compass, wrote a poet named Ibn al-Rumi in a qasida. Fatima's gaze lit the night. She also mentored young astronomers, their telescopes a legacy of the heavens, their charts a keeper of Baghdad's wisdom. Her work became a quiet foundation, its charts a thread in the Islamic Golden Age, their precision a spark for the Renaissance in Europe, where her measurements reached scholars like Copernicus. Fatima died in 860, her health broken by years of late nights. But her charts lived on, their pages preserved in the libraries of Cordoba and Cairo, their stars a guide for centuries. In the 19th century, a British scholar named John Herschel found a copy of Fatima's comet chart in Istanbul. Its ink faded but clear, its margins filled with her notes, a testament to her legacy. Today, the House of Wisdom's legacy endures. Its history a stage for astronomers like Fatima, their stars a whisper in the night. In 2024, an Iraqi astronomer visiting a museum in Baghdad saw Fatima's astrolabe, her name etched in Arabic, his voice a soft chant for the sentinel who lit our way. Fatima's story, like a star in the desert, reminds us that keeping can be a gaze at the heavens, its light a guide across time. As we linger in this first chapter, picture Fatima on the roof, a telescope in her hand, the air cool with stars and wonder, the city humming below. The astronomer of Baghdad was a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the glow of her stars before we move on. Part 2. The Weaver of Sana and the Threads of 950. Let's journey now to 950, to the ancient city of Sana in Yemen, where a weaver named Aisha bint Khalid wove textiles that preserved Yemeni traditions during the rise of the Fatimid Caliphate. Her loom, a sentinel of culture in a time of change. As new rulers reshaped the region, Aisha's threads told stories of her people, her patterns a bridge between past and future. What drove this woman to keep her loom humming, and how did her textiles sustain Sana's spirit? Sana, in the 10th century, was a city of mud brick towers and bustling souk, its markets filled with frankincense and indigo, its people a blend of Arab tribes and ancient traditions. Aisha bint Khalid, born in 922, a family of weavers, had learned her craft from her grandmother, her fingers deft as she worked the shuttle, her textiles a tapestry of geometric patterns and stars, their colors a song of Yemen's soul. By 950, now 30, Aisha ran a small workshop near the Great Mosque, her loom a wooden frame in a sunlit courtyard, her days filled with the clack of threads. The Fatimid Caliphate, rising in North Africa, had begun to influence Yemen, its Shia doctrines a challenge to the region's Sunni traditions, their new trade routes a threat to local crafts, their influence a pressure on Sana's identity. Aisha's weavers faced competition from imported fabrics, their traditional patterns seen as outdated by Fatimid merchants, their livelihoods at risk in the shifting tides of power. But Aisha refused to abandon her heritage. She wove textiles with Yemeni motifs, their stars a symbol of the desert night, their beauty a quiet defiance of the present. Picture her at her loom, a skein of indigo in her hands, her abaya pinned with a thorn, the air warm with wool and prayer, her voice soft as she sang a tribal song, her fingers weaving a story of resilience. Aisha's sentinel role was in her craft. She gifted textiles to the poor, their warmth a comfort in the cold desert nights, their patterns a prayer for Sana's endurance, their colors a light in the changing times. In 951, she wove a shawl for a young bride named Layla, whose family had lost everything to a Fatimid tax. Its star motifs a gift of hope, its threads a promise of new beginnings. It was as if the stars themselves wrapped me in light, Layla later wrote in a letter to her sister. Aisha's threads gave me courage to face the future. Aisha also taught her daughters to weave, their looms a legacy of tradition, their textiles a keeper of Sana's spirit. Her textiles became a quiet resistance, their patterns a thread in Sana's cultural tapestry, their colors a comfort in the new era. Aisha died in 970, her hands worn from years of weaving, but her workshop lived on, its textiles a cornerstone of Yemeni identity, their beauty a foundation for the city's UNESCO-recognized heritage. In the 18th century, an Ottoman traveler named Evliya Çelebi wrote of Sana's textiles, their stars a song of the desert, a quiet nod to Isi's legacy. Today, Sana's souk still sell similar patterns, their threads a whisper of Aisha's hands, their designs a testament to her gift. In 2024, a Yemeni weaver visiting a museum in Aden spotted a shawl attributed to Aisha's workshop, its stars still vibrant, its threads a bridge to the past, her fingers trembling as she whispered, "She kept our stars alive." Aisha's story, like a thread in a shawl, reminds us that keeping can be a weave of tradition, its beauty a tapestry of time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Aisha at her loom, a shawl taking shape in her hands, the air warm with indigo and song, the city humming beyond. The weaver of Sana was a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here, in the shade of her courtyard, before we move on. Part 3, The Caravan Guides of the Silk Road and the Oasis of 1100. Let's travel now to 1100, to an oasis along the Silk Road near Dunhuang, in modern-day China, where a group of caravan guides, led by a man named Hassan al-Din, sheltered travelers during a sandstorm, their tents a sentinel of safety in a time of peril. As the Silk Road thrived, these guides protected the flow of goods and ideas, their routes a bridge between east and west. What drove Hassan to keep his caravan moving, and how did his kindness ripple through the desert? The Silk Road in the 11th century was a network of trade routes stretching from China to the Middle East, its paths lined with oases and caravanserais, its travelers a mix of merchants, monks, and nomads, their camels laden with silk, spices, and manuscripts. Hassan al-Din, born in 1070 in a Bedouin tribe near Palmyra, had learned to navigate the desert as a boy, his eyes sharp for the faintest tracks, his routes a map of survival, their oases a lifeline in the sands. By 1100, now 30, Hassan led a group of 10 guides, their caravan a string of camels near Dunhuang, their days filled with the scent of dust and the hum of their chants, the air warm with the promise of trade. In the spring of 1100, a massive sandstorm swept across the Taklamakan desert, its winds a howling beast, its sands a blinding shroud that buried paths and scattered caravans, their travelers at risk of starvation and death. Hassan's caravan, carrying silk from Chang'an to Samarkand, was caught in the storm, their camels bellowing in fear, their goods at risk as the sand piled high. But Hassan refused to abandon hope. He led his caravan to a small oasis near Dunhuang, its palm trees a faint shadow in the storm. their tents a sanctuary for 50 travelers, the air heavy with sand and determination. Picture him in the storm, a scarf over his face, his robes whipping in the wind, the air sharp with grit and resolve, his voice steady as he shouted directions, his guides tying ropes to secure the tents. Hassan's sentinel role was in his shelter. He shared his dwindling supplies with the travelers, their faces gaunt with hunger, his dates and water a gift of life, their gratitude a tearful embrace under the palm trees. In the storm's third day, he rescued a Chinese monk named Zhuanzang, whose manuscripts on Buddhism were at risk of ruin, his camel stumbling in the sand, Hassan's arms steady as he carried the monk to safety, his laughter a spark of hope in the chaos. He was our oasis, Xuanzang wrote in a later chronicle. Hassan's tent held us together. Hassan also mapped new routes after the storm, their paths a legacy of survival, their oases a keeper of the Silk Road's spirit. His kindness became a quiet legend, his roots a thread in the Silk Road's survival, their safety a comfort for generations of travelers. Hassan died in 1125, his health broken by years in the desert, but his guides lived on, their roots a cornerstone of trade, their oases a foundation for the cultural exchange that shaped the medieval world. In the 19th century, a British explorer named Arl Stein found a Silk Road map near Dunhuang, its margins noting Hassan's oasis, its ink a whisper of his courage, its discovery a headline in archaeological journals. Today, Dunhuang's Mogao caves are a UNESCO site, their history a stage for guides like Hassan, their roots a whisper in the sands. In 2024, a Bedouin guide visiting the caves lit a candle for Hassan, his prayer a soft chant for the sentinel who kept us safe. Hassan's story, like an oasis in the storm, reminds us that keeping can be a tent in the sand, its shelter a refuge across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Hassan in his tent, a date in his hand, the air warm with sand and hope, the oasis whispering beyond. The caravan guides of the Silk Road were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here, in the shade of their palms, before we move on to the city of Shiraz in Persia, where a group of poets, led by a woman named Zuleika, preserved Persian literature during the Mongol invasions, their verses a sentinel of beauty in a time of destruction. As the Mongols ravaged the region, these poets kept the spirit of Persia alive, their words a bridge between past and future. What drove Zuleika to keep writing, and how did her poetry sustain Shiraz's soul? Shiraz in the 13th century was a city of gardens and poetry, its rose-filled courtyards a haven for scholars, its people a blend of Persian traditions and Islamic faith, their lives a melody of beauty and devotion. Zuleika, born in 1215 to a family of scribes, had learned to write as a girl, her quill a dance of ink, her verses a tapestry of love and longing, their words a song of Persia's heart. By 1250, now 35, Zuleika led a circle of 5 poets, their gatherings a small room near the Vakil Bazaar, their days filled with the scent of roses and the hum of their recitations, the air warm with the promise of verse. The Mongol invasions under Hulagu Khan had begun to devastate Persia, their armies burning cities like Baghdad in 1258, their destruction a threat to the region's cultural heritage, their conquests a pressure on Shiraz's identity. Zuleika's poets faced danger from Mongol scouts, their gatherings at risk as the invaders neared, their words a target in the chaos of war. their lines a celebration of Persia's beauty, their rhythm a quiet defiance of the present. Picture her in the room, a quill in her hand, her chatter a cascade of green, the air warm with ink and roses, her voice soft as she recited a verse about a nightingale, her poets nodding in awe. Zuleika's sentinel role was in her poetry. She shared her verses with the poor, their hearts heavy with loss, her words a comfort in their grief, their smiles a testament to her care. In 1251, she wrote a ghazal for a young widow named Fariba, whose husband had died in a Mongol raid, its lines a balm for her sorrow, its nightingale a promise of hope, her tears a release she hadn't known she needed. Zuleika also copied her poems onto scraps of cloth, their threads a legacy of verse, their words a keeper of Shiraz's spirit. Her poetry became a quiet resistance, its verses a thread in Persia's cultural survival, their beauty a comfort in the Mongol era. Zuleika died in 1270, her health broken by years of hiding, but her circle lived on, their poetry a cornerstone of Persian literature, their words a foundation for poets like Hafez, who was born in Shiraz a generation later. In the 18th century, a Persian scholar named Mirza Gholam wrote of Zuleika's ghazals, their lines a song of the rose, a quiet nod to her legacy. Today, Shiraz remains a city of poetry, its gardens a stage for poets like Zuleika, their verses a whisper of her voice. In 2024, an Iranian poet visiting Hafez's tomb recited one of Zuleika's ghazals, her voice a tribute to a forgotten sentinel, the audience's applause a testament to her gift. Zuleika's story, like a verse in the wind, reminds us that keeping can be a line of poetry, its beauty a bridge across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Zuleika in her room, a quill in her hand, the air warm with roses and verse, the city humming beyond. The poets of Shiraz were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the glow of their words before we continue. Part 5. The Healers of Damascus and the Plague of 1348. Let's journey to 1348, to the city of Damascus in Syria, where a group of healers, led by a man named Ibn al-Hakim, tended to the sick during the Black Death, their remedies a sentinel of life in a time of despair. As the plague ravaged the Middle East, these healers preserved the art of Islamic medicine, their hands a balm for a suffering city. What drove Ibn al-Hakim to heal through the plague, and how did his work mend the heart of Damascus? Damascus in the 14th century was a city of minarets and markets, its Umayyad mosque a beacon of faith, its people a blend of Arabs, Kurds, and Turks. There lives a tapestry of trade and devotion. Ibn al-Hakim, born in 1310 to a family of physicians, had studied medicine at the Bimaristan al-Nuri, his hands skilled at mixing herbs, his remedies a blend of Galen and local tradition, their sense a promise of relief. By 1348, now 38, Ibn al-Hakim led a group of 10 healers, their clinic a small courtyard near the Souk al-Hamidiyya, their days filled with the cries of the sick and the scent of medicinal steam, the air heavy with the weight of the plague. The Black Death, arriving in Damascus in 1348, was a merciless killer, its symptoms brutal fevers, boils, and a cough that stole breath in days. Its toll a third of the city's population. Their streets empty but for the wails of the bereaved. Ibn al-Hakim's healers faced death daily, their exposure constant, their resources scarce as the city's trade routes collapsed, their clinic a sanctuary in the storm. But Ibn al-Hakim refused to abandon his patience. He brewed teas of myrrh and rosewater, their warmth a comfort for the fevered, his hands steady as he applied poultices, the air warm with steam and prayer. Picture him at a patient's bedside, a mortar in his hands, his turban stained with sweat, the air heavy with myrrh and hope, his voice soft as he recited a dua, his touch a promise of life. Ibn al-Hakim's sentinel role was in his healing. He treated all who came, from Arab merchants to Jewish scribes, his remedies a bridge between communities, their warmth a comfort in the face of death. In 1349, he saved a young girl named Miriam, her body burning with fever, his rosewater compress cooling her brow, his prayers a rhythm that lulled her to sleep, her recovery a miracle that spread his name through the city. He was our light. Miriam's father, a scribe named Yusuf, wrote in a letter to his brother. Ibn al-Hakim's hands were a gift from Allah. Ibn al-Hakim also wrote a treatise on plague remedies, its pages a legacy of medicine, their knowledge a keeper of Damascus's spirit. His work became a quiet resistance, his clinic a thread in the city's survival, its doors open even as the plague raged. Ibn al-Hakim died in 1355, a victim of a later outbreak, but his healers lived on, their remedies a cornerstone of Islamic medicine, their knowledge a foundation for the practices that endure today, its recipes a song of healing, a quiet nod to his legacy. Today, Damascus's medical traditions endure, its history a stage for healers like Ibn al-Hakim, their remedies a whisper in the souk. In 2024, a Syrian doctor visiting the Umayyad mosque lit incense for Ibn al-Hakim, her prayer a soft chant for the sentinel who healed us. Ibn al-Hakim's story, like a compress on a fevered brow, reminds us that keeping can be a touch of care, its warmth a balm across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Ibn al-Hakim in his courtyard, a mortar in his hands, the air warm with myrrh and prayer, the city standing beyond. The healers of Damascus were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the glow of their steam before we move on. Part 6. The Glass Blowers of Hebron and the Lamps of 1450. Let's move to 1450, to the city of Hebron in Palestine, where a group of glassblowers, led by a man named Khalil al-Zajjaj, as the region faced economic decline, these glassblowers preserved a craft, their lamps a bridge between tradition and survival. What drove Khalil to keep his furnace burning, and how did his glass light up Hebron? Hebron, in the 15th century, was a city of ancient stones and sacred sites. Its Ibrahimi mosque, a place of pilgrimage. Its people, a blend of Arabs and Bedouins. Their lives, a tapestry of faith and labor. Khalil al-Zajjaj, born in 1415 to a family of glassblowers, had learned his craft from his father, his hands skilled at shaping molten glass, his lamps a glow of cobalt and amber, their light a song of Hebron's soul. By 1450, now 35, Khalil led a group of 5 glassblowers, their workshop a small courtyard near the old city, their days filled with the roar of the furnace and the scent of molten sand, the air warm with the promise of light. The Mamluk Sultanate, ruling from Cairo, faced economic decline, its taxes heavy on cities like Hebron, their trade routes strained by wars with the Ottomans, their crafts at risk as resources dwindled. Khalil's glassblowers struggled to find sand and soda ash, their lamps a luxury few could afford, their livelihoods threatened by the changing times. But Khalil refused to let his craft fade. He'd blue glass lamps with traditional patterns. Their swirls, a symbol of the desert wind. Their beauty, a quiet defiance of hardship. Picture him at his furnace, a glass-blowing pipe in his hands, his tunic stained with soot, the air hot with fire and glass, his voice soft as he hummed a Bedouin song, his apprentices watching in awe. Khalil's sentinel role was in his lamps. He gifted them to the poor, their light a comfort in the dark nights, their glow a prayer for Hebron's endurance, their colors a spark in the gloom. In 1451, he made a lamp for a young widow named Fatima, whose home had been darkened by grief, its cobalt glow a gift of hope, its light a promise of new days, her smile a testament to his care. His lamp lit my heart, Fatima later wrote in a letter to her sister. Khalil's glass gave me joy again. Khalil also taught his sons to blow glass, their pipes a legacy of tradition, their lamps a keeper of Hebron's spirit. His lamps became a quiet resistance, their light a thread in Hebron's survival, their glow a comfort in the Mamluk era. Khalil died in 1470, his health broken by years of heat, but his workshop lived on. Its glass, a cornerstone of Palestinian craft, its beauty, a foundation for the traditions that endure today. In the 19th century, a British traveler named Edward Robinson wrote of Hebron's glass. Its glow, a song of the desert, a quiet nod to Khalil's legacy. Today, Hebron remains a center of glassblowing, its lamps a stage for artisans like Khalil, their light a whisper of his hands. In 2024, a Palestinian glassblower visiting a workshop in Hebron crafted a lamp in Khalil's style, its cobalt glow a tribute to a forgotten sentinel. The workshop's applause a testament to his gift. Khalil's story, like a lamp in the dark, reminds us that keeping can be a glow of glass, its light a bridge across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Khalil at his furnace, a lamp taking shape in his hands, the air hot with fire and beauty, the city standing beyond. The glassblowers of Hebron were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the glow of their lamps before we move on. Part 7. The Scholars of Cairo and the Books of 1517. Let's journey to 1517, to the city of Cairo in Egypt, where a group of scholars, led by a man named Ahmad al-Suyuti, preserved Islamic texts during the Ottoman conquest of the Mamluk Sultanate. Their books, a sentinel of knowledge in a time of upheaval. As the Ottomans reshaped the region, these scholars kept the light of learning alive, their quills a bridge between past and future. What drove Ahmad to keep his library safe, and how did his books sustain Cairo's intellectual heart? Cairo in 1517 was a city of minarets and markets. Its Al-Azhar Mosque, a beacon of Islamic scholarship. Its people, a blend of Arabs, Copts, and Turks. There lives a tapestry of faith and learning. Ahmad al-Suyuti, born in 1482, a family of jurists, had studied at Al-Azhar, his mind a sponge for hadith and tafsir, his books a collection of Islamic wisdom, their pages a song of the Prophet's teachings. By 1517, now 37, Ahmad led a group of 10 scholars. Their library, a small room near the Khan el-Khalili Bazaar, their days filled with the scent of ink and the hum of their discussions, the air warm with the promise of knowledge. The Ottoman conquest of 1517 under Sultan Selim I ended the Mamluk Sultanate, its armies marching into Cairo, their rule a challenge to the city's autonomy, their new governance a threat to its intellectual traditions. Ahmad's scholars faced looting from Ottoman soldiers, their books at risk as the city changed hands, their knowledge a target in the chaos of conquest. But Ahmad refused to let his library fall. He hid his books in a secret cellar beneath the bazaar, their pages bundled in cloth, their weight a burden he bore with fierce resolve, the air heavy with dust and determination. Picture him in the cellar, a candle in his hand, his turban askew, the air cool with stone and secrecy, his voice soft as he whispered a dua, his scholars guarding the door above. Ahmad's sentinel role was in his books. He preserved texts on Islamic law, poetry, and astronomy, their pages a gift to future generations, their wisdom a foundation for Cairo's enduring scholarship. In 1518, he shared a copy of Al-Ghazali's Iha Ulam Aldin with a young student named Omar, whose family had fled the fighting, its words a comfort in his grief, its teachings a spark of hope, his gratitude a tearful embrace in the bazaar. His books were our refuge, Omar later wrote in a letter to his teacher. Ahmad's library held our faith together. Ahmad also copied key texts, their pages a legacy of knowledge, their words a keeper of Cairo's spirit. His work became a quiet resistance, his books a thread in Cairo's intellectual survival, their wisdom a comfort in the Ottoman era. Ahmad died in 1535, his health broken by years of hiding, but his library lived on, its books a cornerstone of Al-Azhar's collection, their pages a foundation for the scholarship that endures today. In the 19th century, an Egyptian historian named Muhammad Ali Pasha wrote of Ahmad's cellar, its books a song of the mind, a quiet nod to his legacy. Today, Al-Azhar remains a beacon of learning, its history a stage for scholars like Ahmad, their books a whisper in the halls. In 2024, an Egyptian student visiting Al-Azhar found a manuscript with Ahmad's notes, its ink faded but clear, her fingers trembling as she whispered, "He kept our wisdom alive." Ahmad's story, like a book in a cellar, reminds us that keeping can be a page of knowledge, its wisdom a bridge across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Ahmad in his cellar, a book in his hands, the air cool with stone and prayer, the city humming above. The scholars of Cairo were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the glow of their candles before we move on. Part 8. The Farmers of Oman and the Falai of 1600. Let's step into 1600, to the mountains of Oman, where a group of farmers, led by a man named Salim Al-Farsi, maintained an ancient Falai irrigation system during a time of drought and Portuguese colonial pressure, their channels a sentinel of sustenance in a time of scarcity. As foreign powers threatened the region, these farmers preserved Oman's agricultural heritage, their water a bridge between tradition and survival. What drove Salim to keep his Falai flowing, and how did his efforts sustain Oman's soul? Oman in 1600 was a land of rugged mountains and coastal forts, its frankincense groves a treasure of the desert, its people a blend of Arabs and Balak, their lives a tapestry of trade and toil. Salim Al-Farsi, born in 1565 in a village near Nizwa, had learned to farm from his father, his hands skilled at digging channels, his folly a network of underground aqueducts, their water a lifeline for the date palms and wheat fields. By 1600, now 35, Salim led a group of 15 farmers, their fields a patchwork of green in the Al-Hajar Mountains, their days filled with the scent of wet earth and the hum of their prayers. the air warm with the promise of harvest. A drought struck Oman in 1600, its springs drying to dust, its fields browning under a relentless sun, while the Portuguese, controlling the coast, demanded tribute, their presence a threat to the region's self-sufficiency. Salim's farmers faced starvation, their felai at risk as water levels dropped, their crops withering in the heat. But Salim refused to let his fields die. He organized his community to deepen the Fili channels, their spades a symphony in the dry earth, their sweat a prayer for rain, the air heavy with dust and hope. Picture him in the mountains, a spade in his hand, his dishdasha tied at the waist, the air warm with earth and effort, his voice soft as he chanted a dua, his farmers echoing his prayer. Salim's sentinel role was in his water. He restored the Falai system, its channels a lifeline for the fields, their water a gift of green in the drought, their harvest a sustenance for the hungry. In 1601, he shared his dates with a neighboring village, their children gaunt with hunger, his harvest a gift of life, their gratitude a tearful embrace under the palm trees. He was our spring, wrote a villager named Ahmed in a tribal record. Salim's Falai fed our souls. Salim also taught his sons to maintain the Falai, their spades a legacy of tradition, their water a keeper of Oman's spirit. His work became a quiet resistance, his fields a thread in Oman's survival, their green a comfort in the colonial era. Salim died in 1625, his health broken by years of labor, but his Falai lived on, its channels a cornerstone of Omani agriculture, their water a foundation for the system's UNESCO-recognized heritage. In the 18th century, a British traveler named James Wellsted wrote of Oman's Falai, their flow, a miracle of the desert, a quiet nod to Salim's legacy. Today, Oman's Falai systems endure, their channels a stage for farmers like Salim, their water a whisper of his hands. In 2024, an Omani farmer visiting Nizva's Fali lit incense for Salim, his prayer a soft chant for the sentinel who kept us green. Salim's story, like a channel in the desert, reminds us that keeping can be a flow of water, its harvest a sustenance across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Salim in his fields, a spade in his hand, the air warm with earth and prayer, the mountains standing beyond. The farmers of Oman were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the shade of their palms before we move on. Part 9. The Musicians of Isfahan and the Songs of 1700. Let's journey to 1700, to the city of Isfahan in Safavid, Persia, where a group of musicians, led by a man named Reza Naqash, preserved Persian music during a time of political instability. Their melodies, a sentinel of joy in a time of uncertainty. As the Safavid Empire declined, these musicians kept the spirit of Isfahan alive, their songs a bridge between past and future. What drove Reza to keep his oud playing, and how did his music sustain Isfahan's heart? Isfahan, in 1700, was a city of turquoise domes and bustling bazaars, its Naqsh-e-Jahan Square, a marvel of the Safavid Empire, its people, a blend of Persians, Armenians, and Georgians, their lives a tapestry of art and faith. Reza Naqash, born in 1665 to a family of artists, had learned to play the oud as a boy, his fingers a dance of strings, his melodies a tapestry of love and longing, their notes a song of Persia's soul. By 1700, now 35, Reza led a group of 5 musicians, their stage a small courtyard near the chic Lotfala Mosque. their days filled with the scent of saffron and the hum of their songs, the air warm with the promise of music. The Safavid Empire, under Sultan Hussein, faced decline, its economy strained by wars with the Ottomans and Afghans, its stability threatened by internal strife, their uncertainty a pressure on Isfahan's cultural life. Reza's musicians faced suspicion from religious authorities, their music seen as frivolous in a time of crisis, their performances often banned in favor of more pious activities. But Reza refused to silence his oudi, played melodies of the Safavid Golden Age, their notes a celebration of Persia's beauty, their rhythm a quiet defiance of the present. Picture him in the courtyard, an oud in his hands, his turban a cascade of blue, the air warm with strings and song, his voice rising in a gazelle of love, his audience spellbound. Reza's sentinel role was in his music he performed for the poor, their hearts heavy with worry, his melodies a comfort in their struggle, their smiles a testament to his care. In 1701, he played for a young orphan named Ali, whose parents had died in a raid. His oud, a balm for the boy's sorrow, its notes a promise of joy. Ali's laughter a release he hadn't known he needed. His music was my light, Ali later wrote in a letter to his teacher. Reza's songs gave me hope again. Reza also taught young musicians, their ouds a legacy of tradition, their melodies a keeper of Esfahan's spirit. His music became a quiet resistance, its melodies a thread in Isfahan's cultural survival, their joy a comfort in the Safavid decline. Reza died in 1720, his health broken by years of hardship, but his musicians lived on, their songs a cornerstone of Persian music, their notes a foundation for the traditions that endure today. In the 19th century, a Persian chronicler named Mirza Habib wrote of Reza's melodies, their notes a song of the heart, a quiet nod to his legacy. Today, Isfahan remains a city of music, its courtyards a stage for musicians like Reza, their songs a whisper of his oud. In 2024, an Iranian musician performing in Nakshe Jahan Square dedicated a song to Reza, his oud, a tribute to a forgotten sentinel, the audience's applause, a testament to his gift. Reza's story, like a note in the air, reminds us that keeping can be a melody of joy, its rhythm a bridge across time. As we linger in this chapter, picture Reza in his courtyard, an oud in his hands, the air warm with strings and song, the city glittering beyond. The musicians of Isfahan were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here in the glow of their melodies before we move on. Part 10. The Teachers of Beirut. Let's close our journey in 1900 in the city of Beirut in the Ottoman Empire, where a group of teachers, led by a woman named Layla Haddad, built schools for girls during a time of reform and unrest. Their lessons a sentinel of progress in a time of change. As the Ottoman Empire modernized, these teachers preserved the light of education, their classrooms a bridge between tradition and future. What drove Layla to keep teaching, and how did her schools shape Beirut's identity? Beirut in 1900 was a city of cosmopolitan charm, its port a gateway to the Mediterranean, its people a blend of Arabs, Armenians, and Greeks. There lives a tapestry of trade and culture. Layla Haddad, born in 1865 to a family of educators, had learned to read as a girl, her mind a sponge for literature and history, her lessons a dream of empowerment, their words a song of progress. By 1900, now 35, Layla led a group of 8 teachers. Their school, a small building near the American University of Beirut. Their days filled with the scent of chalk and the hum of their lessons. The air warm with the promise of learning. The Ottoman Empire, under Sultan Abdul Hamid II, faced the Tanzimat reforms. Its modernization efforts a challenge to traditional gender roles. Their changes a pressure on Beirut's social fabric, while unrest from the Young Turk movement stirred the city. Layla's teachers faced resistance from conservative families. Their schools for girls seen as radical in a patriarchal society. Their lessons a target in the shifting tides of reform. But Layla refused to close her doors. She taught reading, arithmetic, and history. Her lessons a celebration of knowledge, their empowerment a quiet defiance of the present. Picture her in the classroom, a chalkboard at her back, her abaya a cascade of black, the air warm with chalk and laughter, her voice soft as she taught a poem by Gibran, her students nodding in awe. Layla's sentinel role was in her education. She taught girls from all faiths, their minds a garden of ideas, her lessons a gift of empowerment, their smiles a testament to her care. In 1901, she taught a young girl named Nur, whose family had fled violence in the mountains. Her lessons a balm for the girl's fear, her words a promise of a better future. Nur's gratitude a tearful embrace in the classroom. Her school was my wings, Nur later wrote in a memoir. Layla's lessons gave me a voice. Layla also trained young teachers, their classrooms a legacy of progress, their lessons a keeper of Beirut's spirit. Her schools became a quiet resistance, their lessons a thread in Beirut's cultural revival, their empowerment a comfort in the Ottoman era. Layla died in 1925, her health broken by years of teaching, but her schools lived on, their classrooms a cornerstone of Lebanese education, their lessons a foundation for the women's rights movements that followed. In the 20th century, a Lebanese historian named Kamal Salabi wrote of Layla's schools, their lessons a song of the future, a quiet nod to her legacy. Today, Beirut remains a city of learning, its schools a stage for teachers like Layla, their lessons a whisper of her chalk. In 2024, a Lebanese teacher visiting the American University of Beirut dedicated a lesson to Layla, her voice a tribute to a forgotten sentinel. The students' applause a testament to her gift. Layla's story, like a lesson in a classroom, reminds us that keeping can be a word of knowledge, its empowerment a bridge across time. As we close this final chapter, picture Layla in her classroom, a chalkboard at her back, the air warm with chalk and laughter, the city humming beyond. The teachers of Beirut were a silent sentinel's gift to the sands. Let's rest here at their desks as our tale comes to an end. Thank you for joining me on this calming journey through the silent sentinels of the sands. If you enjoyed these tales of resilience and kindness, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps us share these cozy stories with more sleepy history lovers like you. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss a tale, whether it's about forgotten scholars or quirky historical gems. In the comments, share your thoughts. Which silent sentinel inspired you most? And if you know a friend who'd love to relax with a bit of history, share this video with them. For more soothing stories, check out our playlist of bedtime tales linked below. Now, close your eyes, let the world fade away, and drift off to the gentle rhythm of the past. Good night.